Okay, we've all been there. You get to the airport, you've got your bags, you're ready to go, and then you see it, the line, that enormous, winding snake of people at the check-in counter, and you just know it's going to take forever. But what if I told you there's a powerful science dedicated to preventing that exact feeling? Yeah, turns out there's a mathematical secret to creating the perfect line. And it all boils down to this one question. What is the perfect number of check-in counters to have open? For an airline, this is a massive, high-stakes puzzle they have to solve every single day. If you get it wrong, you've got total chaos. But if you get it right, well, it's a beautifully smooth experience for thousands of people. And for our little deep dive, we're heading to one of the busiest travel hubs on the entire planet, Dubai International Airport. We're going to zoom in on Emirates' massive operation in Terminal 3. I mean, the scale here is just mind-boggling, and even a tiny little hiccup can create huge delays down the line. The pressure is definitely on. So let's break this down. What is the actual problem here? Well, it's not just about getting people from A to B. For the airline, it's this incredibly delicate balancing act between keeping you, the customer, happy and, not losing a ton of money. It's a classic dilemma, right? If you open too few counters, the lines get ridiculously long, wait times go through the roof, and you start getting angry passengers who might even miss their flights. But on the other hand, if you open too many counters, you're paying staff to just stand there. That's a huge waste of money. Neither one is a good look. So how do you find that perfect Goldilocks number? Well, it's not guesswork, that's for sure. The answer actually lies in this amazing field of mathematics that's like a secret weapon for operations managers everywhere. It's called queuing theory. To put it simply, queuing theory is the math of waiting in line. It's a way to use probability to predict exactly how queues are going to behave. And to make it work, we just need to know a few key ingredients. First up, we have what's called the arrival rate. Let's just call it the rush. It's basically how many people are showing up to get in line. For our Emirates example, during a busy peak hour, we're talking about a steady flow of 210 passengers arriving. Next, we need the service rate, or the speed. This is how fast a single check-in agent can help a passenger and send them on their way. At a super efficient Emirates counter, that speed is about 30 passengers every hour. And finally, the last piece of the puzzle is our servers. In this case, that's just the check-in counters themselves. And this is the magic number. It's the one thing Emirates can actually change to control the whole situation. Okay, theory is great, but now for the really fun part. We've got our numbers, so let's plug them in and run some simulations. Let's see what actually happens when Emirates opens a different number of counters. All right, let's start with a scenario where they really get it wrong. What if they decide to be cheap and only open 6 counters during that crazy peak rush hour? Oh, it's a complete and utter disaster. A total system meltdown. Think about it. 6 counters, each serving 30 people an hour, means they can only handle 180 passengers. But remember, 210 people are walking in. The math just doesn't work. The system can't keep up, and the line will just keep growing and growing forever. It's chaos. Okay, so 6 counters is a definite no-go. What if they add 2 more desks? Let's bring the total up to 8 counters. Now, their capacity is 240 passengers an hour, which is safely above the 210 who are arriving. So the system works. But what does it actually feel like for the passenger? Well, with 8 counters, the average time you spend waiting in that line drops to just under 6 minutes. And you know what? That's not too bad. Most of us could handle a 6-minute wait without getting too frustrated. But that's only half the story. Because on average, there will be about 20 people physically standing in that line ahead of you. And here's the thing about perception. A line that's 20 people long looks intimidating. It can still create that sense of anxiety, that feeling of, oh, this is going to take a while. So, can we do even better? Let's see what happens if Emirates decides to invest a bit more and open up 10 counters. Now remember, that's a real cost, paying 2 more agents for that hour. So is that extra expense really worth it? Oh yeah, it's absolutely worth it. The average wait time plummets to just 1.6 minutes. That is a huge, huge improvement. I mean, you barely have time to pull out your phone and check your emails before you're at the front of the line. And in the line itself, it just shrinks. We go from an average of 20 people down to just 6. The entire check-in area suddenly feels way calmer, way more efficient, and a lot less stressful for everyone involved.
So, we've crunched the numbers, we've seen the scenarios play out. Let's put it all together and figure out what the final recommendation should be.
And when you see it laid out like this, the impact of just 2 extra counters is incredible. We're not just shaving off a few seconds here, we're cutting the average wait time by more than 70%. The difference is just undeniable. And the effect on the physical space is just as dramatic. A line of 20 people versus a line of 6 completely changes the whole vibe of the check-in hall. It goes from feeling crowded and chaotic to calm and under control. So yeah, the math gives us a crystal clear winner. For Emirates, having 10 check-in counters open during those peak hours is the absolute sweet spot. It's the perfect balance between running an efficient operation and giving passengers a fantastic experience. But here's the really cool part. This isn't just about airports or Emirates. This exact same mathematical logic is this hidden force that shapes countless parts of our daily lives, and most of the time we don't even notice it. Seriously, think about it. The number of tellers at your bank, how many cashiers are open at the grocery store, the number of people working at a call center, even how many cars they let on a theme park ride at once, or how much traffic a website servers can handle. It's all determined by the principles of queuing theory. It's the hidden science that makes our world run. So, the next time you find yourself waiting in any line, instead of getting frustrated, maybe you'll see it a little differently. You won't just see people. You'll see the dance between the rush and the speed. You'll see the complex mathematical puzzle that's being solved in real time, right in front of you. Because now you know the secret. And a simple line, well, it will never look quite the same again.